All right, what's up, everybody? This is your girl, Shantanique Langston, better known as Neek Speaks. I am your personal and professional relationship coach. I'm also the creator of the Relationship Conference, where we promote wholeness in the areas of singleness, marriage, and family dynamics. And tonight is the night that we're giving you guys a recap of the Men's and Women's Summit. I am super honored and privileged to have these amazing people who came on to talk to us about reversing some cycles in our lives in different areas, not just in dealing with each other, but ourselves, our oneness, getting back to self. Because the most important relationship, and I keep preaching the same message over and over again, that the most important relationship that you will ever encounter over and over again is the one with yourself. And so tonight, I just have a few of the people who came on tonight that was a part of this past 3 years ago. I think we had this event of our Men's and Women's Summit, and we talked about reversing generational cycles and how important it is to take the time to deal with the root. And so sometimes it's hard to deal with that, but that's why it's important to have a support system. Hello, tonight. We're here to help you navigate through the roots. So those of you who might be reticent to name with some of this stuff, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We have so much coming up that I have not shared yet that we're going to be doing in 2024 and beyond. So make sure you guys, of course, subscribe to the channel and share this video. If you know anyone who's dealing with toxicity, trauma, this is the actual video. You want to hear what everyone's going to be dropping on tonight. So without further ado, I want to turn it over to the people on tonight. I want to start with Colin. Introduce yourself. Tell people who you are, what you do.
And hello, everybody. My name is Colin Parks. I'm a fitness professional. I'm the owner of Scrap Fitness. I primarily focus on personal training and mobility therapy. I've been in the wellness industry for 7 years in the Metro Detroit area. So I do, like I said, anything from personal training, group exercise, wellness coaching, mobility therapy, and those are pretty much my top 4 things that I cover. So yeah, this is I guess this is tied into one event, but this is my 3rd time being with the Relationship Conference and working with these lovely people, especially Shantanique. So
yeah. I appreciate that. All right, Dre.
Hey, everyone. I am Andre. Affecting Change Charlie is kind of what I go by sometimes. I have a private practice here in the metro area for clinical counseling, behavioral health therapy, and I have been working with individuals through trauma and helping them be, kind of move to their wholeness, move to the person they like to be in the vision that they see. So that's pretty much how I've been working the past 10, 12 years in private practice, but I just went full time the last 3 years, and this is my inaugural time with the Relationship Conference, Men's and Women's Summit, those types of things. I did partake in one session over the COVID online version.
Thank you, Andre. All right. Go ahead, Lucia. Go ahead.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Lucia Pavone. You can call me Lucia as well, because I speak perfect Spanish. I am a somatic sexologist, so I've been in the field of sexual health and wellness for 20 years now. And I've done everything from teaching courses to couples to singles. But my focus is really on supporting people to reclaim their sexual wholeness once they've gone through something traumatic, whether it's a religious trauma, sexual trauma, ancestral trauma, and come back into a place of being able to feel their best, their most alive self, so that they actually can have a sex life worth bragging about.
Come on, somebody, okay? Because I do want that in my marriage. Praise the Lord, okay? Amen. Keeping it real tonight, y'all, okay? Listen,
inside,
Listen.
inside and outside the bedroom. Like there's no.
Period. It should be starting house before. Okay, we're gonna go into that in a second. We're gonna go into that. Okay, let's do the introduction. Go ahead, Desi and Victoria.
What's going on, everybody? So this is obviously Desi and Victoria, and we're a number of things, right? So let me just kind of start off with that. I'll start my little light introduction, and then of course you're gonna go ahead and do what you do. Well, we're obviously husband and wife, and we're actually entrepreneurs. We're wellness entrepreneurs, but we also have, our 9 to 5s as well. I'm a financial executive, and you're a
respiratory therapist.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we do is in regards to our wellness organization, we actually own a corporate wellness firm, and we also do custom coaching as well. So when you think about, when you want to look good and feel good and all that good stuff, we are the people to help you do that in regards to wellness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we did over the recent event that we had, I kind of spoke more so on my financial background side of it, where I talked about the importance of the finances when it comes to your relationship. So I talked a bit about that, and you spoke about our more of our wellness side of what we do, right?
Yeah, and I'll just to go into that, we also have 3 amazing children, 18, 12, and 11, which makes me very busy. I work nights. So on top of that, with me being a respiratory therapist, I'm dealing with their craziness and nonsense. And then I also have this handsome gentleman as well to deal with and balance. So she
said she got to balance me, huh? Okay.
Okay. That's where we're going.
All right, we're doing this on live TV.
All right.
I said we're doing this on live TV. Okay.
That's what we're calling it.
That's what we call it.
Okay. Anyway, no, but with the wellness side of what he spoke of, I have a women's community that I created to help with that balance that women go through as mothers, wives, caretakers. We just take on more than our male counterparts, not all the time, but most of the time. And it's just to help create a space where women can just come and be supported. And no judgment. We don't have the cliques like we used to. We don't have them support like, girl power like it was like back I might age myself by saying this, back in the 90s. Like, it was just like all that stuff. Like it was just, you don't have that now. Everybody is coming at you being catty, this, and this. So I just wanted to create a space where people can be vulnerable, meaning, women, they can be open. They can be proud of what they're doing and not have someone else saying, like going back at them, making them feel bad about it, So that's what I talked about. And I mean, we kind of went a little bit more into it in our little women's session that we did.
Yeah, but our wellness community is
Lucia
absolutely
knows,
amazing. Yeah.
Nick knows. I mean, we went a little bit more into it than that, but I mean, that was my focus, was kind of talking about that.
Look, y'all don't waste no time. Y'all went right in. Like we talked about this, and that. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to kind of go back full circle from the beginning of the conference. We opened up with talking about creating safe spaces. That is a hard place for a lot of people, and we were stuck in that place for a minute. Everyone was just sucked in, and I started to just stay right there. And Lou was like, "Neek, I think we need to just stay right here," because everyone was just like zeroed in on this area. And you just touched on it, Victoria, about how we have the soft girl era now. We have the mean girls. We have so many of these different types of, titles of people or communities or whatever. And no one's really looking to take time out to create a safe space, not even for self. And so I want to touch on that a little bit. Andre, I feel like you bite your lip. You got something you want to say about that before I ask a question? I'm good.
Yeah, you good. You can ask. I'll follow after. I won't jump in.
Okay. All right. So I'll just start this off with the first question I want to ask is, what does a safe space look like for men? because we really didn't dive into this. What does a safe space look like for men? Women, listen. We don't listen. I just talked to a parent yesterday about their kid. Listen to your kids because they're communicating. Bad behavior is not because it's going to be bad. It's communication. Okay. Same thing with grown-ups. You're communicating something. What's going on? So, fellas, what does a safe space look like to you? Colin, you want to start off?
Oh yeah, I can start off. One thing that I feel a safe space is for you is for men specifically is just being able to be your authentic self. Um, a lot of times you kind of see we have to have, not we have to, but you know, society puts that we have to have that macho man figure, or you have to hold yourself to this standard. You can't be vulnerable. You can't show this type of emotion, you know. And I'm starting to see that kind of change, you know, as times come through. But just being able to be your authentic self, and that's one way of it. But then also being accepting and accepting other people's perspectives and their identity as well on the receiving end of that. So that's kind of like a two-way thing. If you're coming into that space, or if you're in that space, allowing other people in.
I just want to make a real funny comment real quick. He talked about you don't have to be this macho, man, but yet he has muscle. I'm just saying, bro, how you gonna say that?
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Don't you laugh, Lily. Don't you laugh.
I'm laughing, but I laugh too much. I'm gonna rip this little type shirt.
Yeah.
I was like,
Colin, funny, man.
All right.
Does you want to add to that before Andre?
Yeah, I can actually add to that. I think with the safe space thing, when it kind of comes down to it, I think it's important to before you can really be focused on other people that's just kind of providing that space or being that space for you. I think you gotta have it within yourself first. You get what I'm saying? So as a man, I think it's important for you to be comfortable and confident in yourself. I think it's important to have boundaries where you don't kind of let people kind of like violate your energy. And then kind of like what Colin kind of said a little bit too, I think it's important to know that you can just be you, right? I think it's so much that goes on with society where, you see in social media or whatever's going on, or the music industry or what's going on the news, to where there's an expectation that as a man, you need to kind of fit or be in this type of box or whatever the situation may be. And at the end of the day, man, as a man, you should be able to be your own man, whether it is being confident, is doing you, as long as that's the right thing. You shouldn't feel as if you have to be somebody that you're not, right? And I think that when you understand that and when you have that, I think that helps you with relationships with other people, because at the end of the day, you got boundaries, you got your own expectations, you confident, and you know who you are, so you don't allow anybody else's energy to throw you off. I just think the safe space comes with you first before you can expect that, anybody else. You gotta guard yourself. You gotta be true to you.
That's good. Andre?
Very, very good. I definitely agree with my brothers. And I'll add, in a different type of area to feel safe, creating a safe space for me, it looks a lot like having that open communication, dialogue, being able to feel safe when I express my feelings and talk about what's bothering me, and being supported and not shut down. If there's emotion there, support that. Look and see what I'm saying, feel my heart. But a lot of times it can be attacked, which wouldn't make it a safe space. Engaging in reciprocal communication, as much as you want to be heard, hearing me, that's still along that line of communication, because there's a part of communication that's effective and there's a part that's ineffective. There's one-sided and reciprocal. So we want to be able to verbally dialogue I want you to be able to read my verbals and nonverbals so that that creates a safe place, safe space. And then kind of allowing me to be in my position and not telling me or men what they should be and shouldn't be doing as a man and what a man is, and understanding that men have challenges. We also have strengths of areas that we need to be improved in. Are you going to be that support? Are you going to be that hindrance? And just being able to partner and not dictate or yell or attack.
I hope, ladies, y'all heard that. Those who are watching us by stream, did y'all hear all of that? First of all, Andre ripped us a new one. All he did the women's session, and man, all the ouches and the comments and the ooh wee. And his aunt was there. She was like, "I'm gonna whoop him." I said, "Yes, get him." I was like, get him after this is over."
Come on,
But
Victoria, come on, help me. I didn't.
I
I said a word.
Oh my goodness. Those who are on, feel free to tap in with us in the chat. We want to hear what you have to say, your questions. What does a safe space look like to you? We want to know. We are not mind readers, okay? Men, we as women, we have intuition, we have discernment. Some of us don't really exercise it, but we won't get into that another time. Because here's the thing, he said something very powerful. He was talking about being supportive. Women, how many of you are really supportive to yourself? How many of you are supportive to your girlfriends, to your relatives? I know I'm going deep. I know. But listen, if you are not supportive in your friend's life in the way that you could be, you won't be that supportive when a man show up. Fellas, same thing. Same thing. All right. It's true. So you have to be willing to become what you desire. So if you know you're supportive, you know you have all these great qualities, live in that, breathe in that, be confident in exactly what you're looking for, especially when it comes to that safe space. Because even having a safe space is attractive. I know people tell me all the time, Neek, people are drawn to you because you are very easy to talk to. And I have to be very mindful that everyone's not coming in the right spirit. So I had to set up what? Boundaries with certain people because, like he said, reciprocation, everybody not doing that for me. So I got to be careful with what I give. So even in your singleness, be mindful. If you know who you are, you're a healer and you love to help people, you're a problem solver, be mindful of how you are engaging with people and not having everyone in the same proximity. What I mean by that is everyone's not an inner circle friend. Everyone's not confidant. So be mindful of that. So I hope y'all taking notes. All right. So I want to just touch on that. Ladies, it's your turn. Because the men just told their spiel. It was some good stuff. I hope y'all wrote this stuff down. So ladies, you want to share? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna be the last. So y'all share. Praise the Lord. One of y'all, sorry.
Go ahead, Lucia.
Okay, so this word, safe space is used a lot in community. And so I'd like to kind of reframe that. We should be really looking at creating brave spaces. And that encompasses all these pieces. Brave space is a space where there is allowance for voice and choice, empowered voice and choice. Where safe space comes from is really comes from this terminology of our being triggered, right? I don't feel safe because you get triggered. Usually this is the blame and shame game. And it's a vicious cycle that continues in partnership. Often I've seen it. I've been part of it in my own marriage. So one of the places I would say is being willing to take total responsibility for your voice and your choice, and come to the table at 100% responsibility. Tell the truth without anger in the moments to your partner. When stuff shows up, ask yourself, am I willing to actually do the deeper dive for myself so I can come back into partnership? If something triggers me about my partner, who's responsible for that? If my partner is like lying to me, yeah, take it, he's lying to me. But still, who's responsible for it? You're still responsible for your emotions. So when you show up, have you done those pieces to actually do the healing work and come fully present with that person? If not, it's going to be difficult to I know these guys are like, hold space for us, do this. It's really difficult to hold emotional space for men. Even though we want to hold space, because we do that all day long for our kids, for our friends. Women are natural like space holders. But guys, we still need you to actually do your work. We're not here. We want you to go to therapy. We want you to go get the support you need. Like, we will hold space for you in the ways and show up for you, but you also have to like take responsibility and put your cards on the table. And 100%, 100%. There's no 50-50 here. Everybody must show up at 100% and be willing to do their work inside and outside the bedroom. Since I'm a sexologist, I'm going to talk about like the bedroom part, right? That's a hard space to be, vulnerable in. I mean, geez, we're getting naked, So this is a whole nother thing that I talk about, like with my own clients, It's like why people are rushing in and they're immediately going for the, penetrative sex all the time is because it's less vulnerable. It's the least vulnerable type of connection that you can possibly have, is to go straight for the, let's get it on real quick. It's like gazing and touching and smelling and tasting and all those other pieces. That takes courage to be like, naked physically and naked with your heart. So yes, I hope that answers the question.
That was so good, so deep. That's why I love her. She gonna go in, okay? Victoria, you want to go ahead and give your spiel?
I had to have her go first, didn't I?
Right. Right. I ain't got nothing deep to say either. So go ahead.
For me, 3 words came to mind. When you say safe space, it's appreciation, acceptance, security. So appreciation. There's not a moment I'm not doing something. And if it's not directly for you, I'm doing it for someone. So I'm always doing something. So the thing is that I understand you also are doing something. But as we talked about, it's a give and a take. It ain't always 50-50. And sometimes we may be just on 0 at the same time. We just may be. There's going to be days that are going to be like that. We don't got nothing for each other that particular day. So that just may be that day that you have that fight. It just may be. But to show appreciation at some point, like to acknowledge the fact that I know you're doing this because I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to do it for him. I know he ain't just sitting at work, just, doing nothing. I know what kind of job he got. I talk to him all day and I listen to him. I probably know his coworkers better, and his coworkers don't even know that I know them when I see them at company events. They'd be like, how do you know who I am? Because I'm talking to him all the time. So it's like, I'd be like, he'll say the name. I'll say, oh, that's Nancy. And then I already know what's going on with Nancy because he already done told me. So, it's like, so I'm listening and I'm doing that. But see, that's also something else I'm doing because I am listening. But I understand that it's hard to communicate that all the time, that it's being absorbed and it's taken in. And that's what it is at the end of the day. And then acceptance. I am who I am. Just like I know he is who he is. We are polar opposites. And believe me, that is absolutely obvious on some days. Like he's thinking this way, I'm thinking this way. It don't necessarily mean either one of us are wrong, but it's just like we just, it's just, but at the end of the day, we understand we are who we are. And we've been this way since we've known each other. Like we've known each other since we were teenagers. We ain't been no different as far as the core of who we are. We've grown, we matured, we've, been through life together. I mean, we literally grew up together, but at the same time, we are who we are. You can't change, that core of who you are for someone else. When that's just that's your center. That's just, it is what it is, right? There's things you can always work on if it's, something unhealthy like that. But I mean, everybody has their personality and their likes, their dislikes. That's what I mean. So acceptance. So, it's that. And then the security part, I'm not necessarily talking about in a financial sense. Of course, everybody wants to be secure financially. But what I mean is secure in the fact, and Lucia kind of talked about it a little bit, where I can be vulnerable and know that my secrets and what I told you when I opened up my heart is secure in the vault that you opened up for me. You're not going to use it against me. You're not going to play it some way. You're not going to tell somebody else. So it's a security like that, because at the end of the day, even if you come to head and you're having that rough patch, those are the moments that you're going to realize, well, it's going to be apparent to you, well, this person opened up to me about this. And I kind of like at some point it's going to like, okay, let me kind of take a step back because I've been through with this person. This person trusted me enough with this information. So for me, it's being able to be vulnerable by security, being accepted for who I am. And then at the end of the day, just being appreciated for what I do. So that's like my trifecta of a safe place for me.
That was so good, Victoria. Some of the same things you said, I was going to piggyback off of. The biggest thing for me is being vulnerable, allowing me to just be me, and no judgment. Because one thing about me is I'm not judgy at all. So if I feel, if I'm putting that out there, that I'm not judgy, and you come to me and you feel safe, I want to feel that same thing. That reciprocation is what I look for as well. If I'm putting out the good vibes, the peace, I want to have that brother to have some peace too. All right, in his life, he should already have it before he meet me. Praise the Lord. If you don't, that's all right. Because sometimes some men may not have it, but guess what? If you link up with somebody who has peace and they're happy in their life, some of that will rub off on you. Because we are not called to be separate, we're called to come together. And there are some pieces that you're not going to have that the person that God has for you may have. And so that's why this life is a journey. Relationships is a journey. And you just heard a lot of what people were saying tonight. And so I'm big on being vulnerable. I'm vulnerable with myself. I'm growing into that. Doing my trauma release, doing my therapy sessions is helping me. And so just because I put on conferences don't mean I don't have issues. Okay. That's why I go to therapy. That's why I do my self-healing and stuff like that too. Because as a leader, it's important for me to stay sane, but I got to do some practices in order to be at my best. So we all should be doing that, no matter what your title is. But that's where I am in my life. I just want to be with someone who will see me for me. That's really the biggest thing in my life, is seeing me for who I am. And like you said, appreciating me for who I am. Not Neek Speaks, but Shantanique. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the man seeing me for me. So I ain't gonna start crying, because that's the thing that I really struggled with for a long time, is that guys not seeing the idea, because a lot of guys have the idea of what type of woman they want, but when they meet her, how are you going to keep her? Are you going to go in prayer about her? Like, that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, men say or women say they I want a good man on and stuff, but when he does come and show up, are you ready for him? Are you ready for her? And you shouldn't be looking to be perfect either. Because he doesn't want somebody who's perfect. He wants to perfect you in areas within yourself, not for the person, but for you. For you. And it's not even about physical, it's really internal. The internal work is what we lack the most. We so focus on the external. That's where all the insecurities come from. They come from what we see, what's been publicized the most. And one of my coworkers, she went out of town, came back, um, and she's a curvy lady. And she said when she was out there and she had on her one piece and her two piece, she said, I couldn't get these men off of me. And these women are rushing, going to get these surgeries. And I'm telling her, I'm like, listen, it has not stopped a man. Me being curvy has not stopped a man from talking to me. Okay, so all the lies on the social media, y'all don't believe that high. Men out here want natural. Okay, I'm gonna just put this out there, fellas. Be careful, Desi. You married, fellas. Do y'all prefer the surgery, the BBL? Look, I want to know. We having a conversation tonight. You know, we got a few more minutes. Let's talk about it. What's your preference? What do you think? You know, what are your thoughts about those things? We got the fitness coaches here tonight, so
right. So, me personally, I mean, natural. I think, hell, I don't even like food that's really isn't natural. I try to stay away from that, but it's just, I think it's me personally. I mean, obviously, it's your body. You do what you want. You do what you please. You have the right to do that. But me personally, I like to see like if it's something that you want that you can put the effort in to like go get it. You know what I mean? So if you're able to work, you know, go to the gym, get your diet right, get that body that you want, even seek help because a lot of times I think people don't even try the natural way and then they go right to bam, right to the surgery. You know what I mean? And you got to think about what if that goes left? You know, we all hear those horror stories. You know, it's not shaped like you want it to be. 5 years come past, you got to get it touched up or something like that. So I definitely prefer natural.
Agree. Natural. And you know, it could be some enhancements, small that you know, even makeup and lashes are enhancing, but nothing extreme, nothing altered to the degree where some of it doesn't even look good. You feel like it looks good to you, and that's great, kudos. But for a lot of us, we just look and say, it don't even match. That looks nasty. All right, I'm done.
Oh man. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Just natural. You know, again, I believe in people doing what makes them happy or whatever it may be. But I believe that, you know, just Colin kind of hit on it. It's something about that, you know, working hard and creating, you know, something that you want, right? That's a good solid thing to do. But again, at the same time, it's your body, do what you do, whatever makes you happy. But I would say natural.
Y'all heard it right here. These brothers said natural. You have a lot of superficial men out here, though. You do have them out there. But if you're talking about being with a solid man, listen to what they said. A solid man who is secure in who he is, he's not superficial. You would never be satisfied with someone who's superficial. You just no. They would never be pleased. It will always be something else that you need to do or alter. And too much work. Be yourself, like the man said. Be yourself. Jesus. Be yourself. It's easy. It takes too much work being somebody you're not. Way too much work.
And money.
Yeah, money. You tired. I'm tired of you being a clown. Just stop doing that. Just come on.
You get you some 2 cute ass purses for that.
Too much. Man, be yourself. What is the problem?
If I'm a splurge on some real nice purses. I ain't getting a booty with.
Right. And then y'all hear about it's some guy who got what he got surgery on his legs to be taller. That was weird, but I don't want to go into that. Because he didn't have confidence because he was short. It's like hey, but people are doing it. I don't want to go into the whole politics about changing genders, all that stuff. I love people everywhere. I don't care what you are. Okay, listen, you be a tree. I'll go love you where you are. So that's another thing too. I'm not. When I have a safe space, nothing's off the table. I gravitate to people, but I'm learning to set boundaries, and I have, praise God, because that's the thing, especially when I do. So listen, y'all need to be careful with what y'all doing out here, what y'all watching, seeing. Be yourself, do things naturally. Every relationship should be organic. It shouldn't be forced. Even when doing things with your bodies, don't do something because you see somebody else doing it. What worked for them, work for them. It may not work for you. And ladies, I'm gonna say squat. That's all I'm gonna say. Just squat. Don't do it will bless you. I'm trying to tell you. Just do that. Don't ask me how I know. Just
May I add something in here, since
yes,
we're talking about the outside body parts, and
yes,
I think something to duly note here, because I'm a sexologist, right, is how does this reflect in the bedroom, right? A lot of times this is all reflected around, I got to look good for this person or that person, and everything. Women are set to, our culture has put women, or our society really put women at these like high standards to look a certain way, waxing, shave it all off, unrealistic performances in the bedroom, have to do it this way. So I think this is part of that conversation too. When we're talking about natural or not, we should really consider like what's our bedroom style like? Where did we learn how to like have great, explosive, beautiful central connection? Did we actually learn any of those things? And how does that relate with another person? When you're in the bedroom, it's like, are your styles the same? What are some of your basic needs? So those are also things to talk about when you're coming into either single or with a partnership, is do those relationship needs meet each other? You might have somebody over here who's like super kinky, and yeah, Christian people are kinky. Absolutely. They're out there. Somebody else might be very plain and very just, like, hey, I like it this way. So is that going to match for you? Those are some of the things that couples are not talking about. We think we're just going to get to know each other, that kind of intimacy, or that, a connection and chemistry is just there. It's not. It's not always just there. And can you sustain it over 20, 30, 40 years of marriage? So those are some great things to think about. What are your basic needs around your sexuality? And this is so important in a relationship, because most of us who grew up in, at least for me, I'll speak for me, I grew up in, Catholic church, and it was like, don't have sex, don't do this, there was so much shame in sexuality that when it actually came down to like being intimate with a partner, there was like that residual, like, oh, did I do something wrong? Like that, it just showed up almost like trauma, So understand your body, and learn your body, and like really put that in there around, like, sex doesn't come naturally. We have the machinery, but we did not get the manual. We create the manual.
Oh, that was so good. Y'all, I hope y'all took notes on what she just said, because I'm doing that right now. Okay, doing it right now. Because a lot of people don't know that I'm 36 and I'm still a virgin. Okay. And guess what? All my parts work. Y'all better pray. My parts work. Y'all better pray. Andre. I'm just keeping it all the way 100. And listen, I'm just being honest. People think because you abstinent, like you're not regular. I'm regular, just like you. Like, listen, this just I have discipline. And I don't want to go into this a whole nother conversation I want to go into because I will be doing a whole separate segment talking about why abstinence is not for everyone. Okay, so I'll be doing that in a couple weeks, but I will post about that. But that's like a shameless plug right there, by the way. But anyway, um, but what you're saying is spot on. That's why I had Lucia on because there's a lot of things that we did not learn growing up. Okay, I skipped sex ed. I did. I did. I did. I'm not ashamed. I did. And I shouldn't have. At the same time, I believe that some of my friends that went in there, they did not learn. They did not learn. I don't know what's being taught in there, but yeah, it wasn't this. So what she's talking about right now, it's important to communicate everything, including when it comes to intimacy. I think having an intimate conversation about this is a form of intimacy, getting closer with your partner. Again, life's a journey, everything. You should enjoy every moment of this. You know, what God has brought together, let no man put asunder. Yeah, the what goes on in the marriage bed is undefiled. So whatever you do, make sure y'all having a conversation so that the husband or wife is not in the group chat with their friends talking about talking about you, or they're going to see Andre. Okay, they gotta go see the counselor because the math is not 1 + 1 is equaling 0. Hey, we gotta get it together. Thank you so much for sharing that piece. I wanted to just jump onto another topic really quick. Or did you have something you want to add, Andre?
No, not at all.
No.
You just like the emphasis on your parts working. And they work. I just had to get that out.
Okay. See, you need to go on mute, though. Colin, I wasn't in your session, so I want you to quickly just share with us what you share with the men during your segment. We talked about relationship with fitness and how does that tie in, and then I'm gonna have Victoria answer a question that we did not cover for our women when it comes to fitness.
Yeah, so when I broke out with the fellas, basically, I kind of gave a background on why I got into wellness. And the biggest reason is because I saw the disparities, the health disparities in my community being a black male, um, firsthand. In the mid, and it was like perfect time. And in the midst of taking an intro class in undergrad, we were learning about the statistics of the disproportionate statistics of men's health, different communities, and during this time, within that year or two range, two of my uncles died from heart disease, and I learned how these both of those deaths could have been prevented, and I wouldn't say easily, but it's simple, it's simple things, changing your diet, going for a walk, moving 30 minutes a day, those types of things. And I'm like, wow, like I had that realization, like these are simple fixes. But the part that's tough is implementing and spreading that knowledge. And that's kind of where I started talking with the fellas. And I'm saying, like, you really have to be aware of your health and what you're doing at all times. I brought something up. I said, really, they say sitting is the new smoking because it can come with so many other health problems. The amount of hours that you're sedentary can correlate directly to obesity, heart disease, waist circumference, those types of things. And those are all leaders or indicators of, how well your health is. That's not the only thing. I also talked about being aware of how your body's feeling. Um, Another thing, just closely in my family, one of my cousins was having heart pains or chest pains. he expressed that to somebody, but what he did, was like, man, I'm having chest pains. Said that to, my aunt over the phone, and the next day he ended up suffering a heart attack, had to drive himself to the hospital. So men, we have to be aware, and it kind of goes back to this macho thing. A lot of us were brought up, stop crying, handle your business, do what you got to do. And it's almost, I see this, it's almost like as women, in a sense, women, they have so many roles that they kind of, I see them forget to take care of themselves. But for men, we forget to take care of ourselves because whether it's providing or we just have that standard, like, hey, I can get through this, I don't have to go to the doctor, I don't have to get this checked out, just having that presence of being like, okay, I need to seek help, in the sense of it, it's like being vulnerable and being comfortable with yourself and saying, okay, this something is wrong. It could be a multitude of things. Something is wrong, whether it's embarrassing, I have to go get a prostate exam, anything, some people are scared of that, but it's reality. It's the things that we have to be conscious of, because you can't reap the benefits of all the hard work you're doing, your children, your family, life in general, if you're not here to really experience it. And not even just talking about if you, God forbid, you have to leave, this life early, but your quality of life as well. I've talking to so many people who have pain issues where they're just not able to enjoy life. They go on vacation, they say, you know, I'm 65 and I can barely walk. My family, we go on vacation, out of the country, and I just had to sit down because I couldn't walk, so they had to leave me. So health is really important for the experiences that you have in life. And I believe taking that initiative with yourself is one of the big kind of identifiers that you have self-respect and that you're a stand-up person, and building that relationship with yourself, and then you can kind of express that out to other people that you build relationships with, whether it's intimately through a friendship or mentoring, all types of relationships.
That is spot on. So I'm gonna be real vulnerable right now and share something. About 2, 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with sleep apnea, and so when I had seen my doctor, he said, "You want to know why you have not fallen asleep behind the wheel?" I said, "What?" He said, "Because you're active." And so we're going to reverse this. We're going to work on reversing the sleep apnea off of you because you actually are doing moving around, you're doing things, and that's what's keeping you from having accidents and blah, blah. I didn't even realize. I'm like, really?
Mm.
So just by changing up certain things is helping me stay alive, and not cause accidents on the road. I'm a good driver, by the way. I don't brag. May have 1, 2 tickets, but I don't brag. But I want to also make a little funny real quick before Victoria takes over the mic. Um, about walking. I think I mentioned it to Victoria when we were talking a while back, and I made a post about it. Women say that no man talked to them and blah blah blah. Go for a walk. Go for a walk. It will bless your life. You can get your cardio in. You can woo side your mind. Everybody crazy. You don't have to be crazy. Just go for a walk and see what happens. I'm telling you, when I started walking, Victoria put us on a challenge a couple months back, and I'm grateful for the challenge. Okay, because it caused me to change my routine. I was already on a healing journey and I was changing my routine, but this also magnified it more. So now I'm really minding my business. Okay. Just keeping it all the way real, right? So now I'm walking almost every other day. So there's one spot, I'm not gonna tell you where I walk at, because y'all be looking. So I walk in this certain spot all the time now. And every time I go, a guy notices. He's not trying to holler. He's saying, "How you doing? Oh, I see you walking." I'm like, okay. Constantly, and they see it. They watching. Men are watching. Okay, they're not watching because they want to be with you. They're watching probably because They want to be inspired. They're inspired. I need to go for a walk because most guys would say, "I need to be doing what you're doing." But go ahead. Hello, it's a free walk, a sidewalk. You go ahead and walk. Not with me, but you can walk. It's not with me. I'm just being honest. But women say there's no men out here. They are out here. You just gotta put yourself out there. And I know you're probably wondering, well, you're easy to talk to. No, it's your presence, your aura. So, do you always have the? I was going to say the word. Do you always have that resting face? Because some women are not approachable. Fellas, help me out. Am I lying? Or no? Come on.
I mean, guilty.
Yeah. I mean, it's all right.
Like, nah, you said what? I said definitely. We'd be like, nah, and then they won't say nothing to her. Or we may try to crack a joke or whatever. Like, what you frowning for? And just try to lighten it up a little bit. And depending on what happens next, it's shut down, or we might have another sentence or two. But that's the risk there. We'd be like, nope, not even dealing with it.
Colin?
No, he right. It makes you think about your confidence. You be like, ooh, I mean, I'm like, all right, but no, you see it, and then you see they about their business. It's like, all right, am I ready for this? Am I? Worst can happen is they say no, but it makes you rethink. Like, all right, but yeah, but it's different. If you smiling, happy, you open. It's like, oh, I can go have a conversation. I don't have to. It can happen organically. You know what I mean? If you're open and smiling, I feel like that's the easiest way instead of having to think and be like, oh, all right, what do I have? How am I going to approach this situation? Yeah.
That's funny. No, that's the funny thing, though. And again, I know that's what a lot of people do, right? We talk about energy, right? It's if you want to attract positive energy, right, you have to make yourself approachable. So I think sometimes you got to be, you got to understand your mood or your facial expressions and things like that. I just think that if you're somebody that's out potentially looking to kind of meet somebody, I think that you need to be conscious of your energy, because again, there's some good dudes right there, I'm off the market, but I'm just saying. So they very educated, very polished, right? They should be getting them positive vibes and that positive energy. It's just what it is. So that's reason why that is important. And again, some people can just kind of have that vibe, right? And may not know that they need to make some type of adjustments if they have an expectation of some type of energy of the opposite sex that they're trying to get. Because again, with that mean look or that off thing, you gonna miss out on a potential good opportunity. Just keeping it real.
Yeah, that part right there. However, you got Victoria, so
I'm good. I'm just the guy on the sideline talking stuff.
I'll tell you, it's that because I get so busy. I am a huge reader in energy. Like if I just feel you off, like you automatically arm's length for me. So like even when we're out, doing like, events together and stuff like that, he'll have to nudge me sometimes because my face will just be because I'm trying to figure the room out. He's like, you got to smile. And then I'll smile and I'll be all that and stuff. But it's not necessarily like I'm trying to be that way. It's because I understand there's stuff going on around me. And I'm trying to figure out really so I can help him out too, because I have a job here too. So it's like, I don't want to be dealing with fakeness. And if I can sit here and just save him the trouble and be like, no, something, because he already knows, like, I'm going to pick up on stuff. So, but he will have to nudge me sometimes, like, hey. And as soon as he does that, I'll be like, and I'll do my smile and wave. I'll do I sit into my role, but it's just like, but that's where I get caught, like it get caught in my face, like, because I'm just like, something about you. And it's just like, I'm just trying to figure it out, but I don't realize it's here. like, you know, my thoughts is like on my face, and it's just like somebody ain't right, and I'm gonna figure it out.
Ooh wee. That's
So
that's intuition. That's a intuition kicking in. That's why it's important for us to be one and to listen to your partner, because you just never know. You might pick up something that he may not see. Same thing with him, because he also has intuition and discernment. So that's why you're supposed to be able to what is the term I'm thinking about, what Vanessa would tell me. You gel together, one be in sync with each other. And that's something else I would desire. Be in sync with my man. Praise God. Anyway, I saw Lucia. You came off mute. You wanted to say something about having that resting face. Come on.
Well,
Talk to women.
I tend to be, I'm kind of just like a fun person in general. You know, I'm kind of vivacious, and I've nobody's ever like said to me like, you gotta, you know, resting bitch face, resting bee face, right? But
It's all right.
but here's the thing. I definitely read energy as well. Just, you know, like Victoria, I think it's really important that even what I notice is that when we see something in another person that is like off, I always start with myself. Honestly, like I always check in. Like, body, am I on? Like, am I on? Am I like, you know, am I seeing something that like I need to like check in myself? Because usually that's how we know, right? We know when energy's off is because we know that that's happened to us before, and it's actually really beautiful when you recognize that. You know, it's a huge vulnerable piece, like, you know, to be able to say like, God, you know, I'm off. And guys, you know, even if we're having those moments, those days, you know, I think guys think that we're lazy and crazy. That's like society has put women in the box of lazy and crazy, which we're not. None of us, we're not that. What it is we've been put through a lot of different trials and tribulations. And one thing that we really do want, but it's hard for us to say, is, you know, we want you to give us the things that we already like. We want you to provide those things that we want, that we can't ask for. But this is where seduction is a man's game. It's not a woman's game. It's not up to me to seduce you into liking me. This is really, seduction is a man's game. Okay? You guys have those tools. Most guys actually don't have those tools. And so they think a woman's supposed to like seduce them and like loving them. That's not the way it goes, because listen, we're mammals. We're already given that energy, the call. Women go into heat every month. We call. So men respond. So you're responding to us in however we are. So great things for men is to like notice us, learn to notice how we are, love all those times that we're even in whatever mood. And if you want something different, put your attention on us. I used to train my, you know, men and couples to like, write out a menu of options, like different things. Hey babe, you know, can I draw a bath for you? I know that you've had a long day at work. Before you go in on her, would you like me to draw you a bath? No. You know, can I get you a cup of tea, honey? No. It's like, why don't you come sit down? Let me rub your feet for a second. Okay. Like, if you can find those little things and approve of her, approval goes a long way. Approving of a woman exactly how she is, and doing your part to like actually notice her, listen to her as well. Those things are going to support her to soften with you. And I see it over and over. You know, when a man really knows how to hone in and become a great seducer, I would say the biggest way to seduce a woman is to listen. Don't say anything. Don't try to fix her. Do not try to fix her. Just let her just, don't fix her.
Please don't.
There's nothing wrong with her.
Listen to mom. Yeah.
Just listen until you can ask her, is there, you know, would you like me to listen right now? Or would you like to, you know, hear a reflection of what I think? Can I help you out there? Those are some great questions, just to put it out.
Andre?
So after that second no, I'm probably not going to ask anything else. So can we find out how we can bring suggestions? How if you're not saying the right thing or what you might need, suggesting that, you know, you prompt us rather than shut us down. Because if you say no twice, you know, I'll try again tomorrow. I mean, I'm looking for some suggestions here.
Okay, so I don't know. I felt like patience, like a sign of some patience. Did you say after two no's? Then you could probably follow with what would you like at this time? Maybe, or that after the first no, you can say, well, what would you like? That could happen. Because if you know you're short, you know, because I'm telling you right now, I thought I had patience, but until I started doing this work right here, I gotta tighten up on my patience. Okay, I'm being honest. So I'm leaning into listening to what Colin said. He said to be aware of how your body feel. I'm also being aware of how my spirit feel when certain things are not done when I need to be done. So yeah, or if I'm trying to give you attention, I need to okay, I need to probably process how, not so much trying to get what I want out of that person, but how can I meet them? How can I serve them, you know, without feeling like they're not taking my offer that I'm trying to put out there. So I think I feel like patience, love you, Andre, but
It's
maybe
not
to
about you,
rephrasing.
Andre. That's the thing.
Yeah, but
It's in those cases, it's not about you trying to get something, or you know,
get
it's
them to
you being
apply.
like Shantanique said. It really is. How can I be of service in this moment? Put away like my ego for just a moment, and like be of service to the woman. Like nobody else has like listened. I'm like the person she's coming home to today. She's been beaten on by society, by men, by women. How can I be the one person to hear her go through her nose until she finds her empowered yes, her empowered voice and choice? Because when you get that final yes, then you know that you have supported, you've created a brave space for her to melt into you. That is your win right there. Like when she says, yes, baby, yes, that's exactly what I want, then you get your win right there, and all those no's just go away. But sometimes it's going to be different every time. There is no formula here, guys, men. There is no formula. You know, there's no lucky shirt here. This is truly about approving of a woman exactly the way she is, and then off. And sometimes it's being playful. You know, sometimes it's like, you know, listen, sometimes it's like squishing her. Sometimes it's smacking her on the butt. Sometimes it's like, you know, you better go get in that bathtub and let me wash your feet. So, but you got to know how to do it. This is what seduction is about. This is what seduction 101 is about. If you read the cue wrong, it's going to hit you like a freaking ton of bricks.
Let's not give people a free session real quick. Let's not do that because they like, okay, keep going. Come on. I'm going to take my notes. I'm going to screenshot and record this part. Listen, y'all going to have to get her services, okay? Listen, and I'm going to bring her back. I'm bringing her back anyway because she needs to talk to the women. We didn't even get to go deep. Oh, my, it was so much we were covering our women's session, and we didn't even get to go in the way I wanted to because just because I'm abstinent don't mean nothing. I need to know all of the things. Hello. I'm want to, you said what, Victoria?
I just want to say something about the patience thing.
Yes, go ahead.
Real quick. So when you say here and you say, Andre, about I asked 2 times and it's no. I said no to him. It wasn't until I went on a double date with his brother and my best friend that second that was a second attempt, but still we didn't.
She was straight on me, man.
Straight
on me. I don't understand either, bro.
That's why that's exactly why. That's how I met him.
You know, I can work with that when you're in the pursuit of it. You know, for the date. I was speaking like when intimate moments, and you coming home, you had a rough day, and I'm trying to see, you know, what you need in this moment, and you're like, no, can I run your some bath water, or I do it myself. Can I just those things? It's like, oh,
I'll go into that too, because he is my true test of patience. This one, I didn't know patience until I was with him. Like, he's something else. So with that, yeah, you are something. Yes, you are something else. You are. And
I'm praying for me now, right now.
I mean,
praying right now, Doc.
Because remember, we went from teenagers to now we're in our 40s. So, you know, it's like there's been a lot of growth, transition, all that stuff. So, I mean, and that never stops either. You know, no, Andre, stopped. Like doing all that kind of stuff. And that's what I mean about that patience. But when we were younger, I mean, we again, we're opposites, and we always been that way. So it's like he's always been like more outgoing and like out there. Like, I mean, you know, I did stuff and have fun and stuff, but I would absolutely fine being at home, like just chilling with my girl. You know, like we didn't necessarily have to go out, but I mean, we did though. But no, he was, any chance he got, he was gone doing something.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, we were complete, you know, it's just like just doing different stuff. But so it took a minute for us. I mean, obviously, because that young stage, it was different in learning on, as you said, Lucia, like the seducing part and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, so we were maturing and growing with each other. But I mean, you know, of course, when he figured it out, what did I do, Lucia? I melted right into him. And it wasn't even about, you know, any of that, because it was just like it was, as you said, Nick, the gelling. And then at that point, it was just us like just evolving from that point. And
that's that.
But it starts in that first part. Don't get discouraged. Yeah,
look at that look you got up there.
Congratulations on giving in, Steve. What you could have got 2 days before? No.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
Okay, we're not about to play with Andre. We just not about to play with him. But this is good because there are men out there who think like that. And I would say to any man who is a giver on that level, okay, because there are men who do want to pamper, praise the Lord in this day and age, because there are some who are just about self. They're not about intimacy. I will always say to men who are, I don't want to say hopeless romantic. I like to say hopeful and want to be that person. Don't lose that. You just got to make sure you're doing with the right one who will appreciate that. Okay. So if you out there, man of God, I appreciate that type of gesture. Okay. I've been keeping it real. Kind of been laughing at me all night. I'm just keeping it real. Listen, I'm 36 and ticking. Come on. I'm just saying. I just think it's important that we continue to lean into who we are, and the right one will find us. And like I think someone said it earlier, organic. I know I mentioned let it be natural. Let every encounter be natural. No, nothing should be forced. I'm not forcing myself onto no man who do not want me. Listen, ladies, do not force yourself. If he don't see you, child, he don't see you.
Nope.
That's real. And shame on him, shame on her. There's somebody out there. Be more at peace with where you are. Because one thing I don't do, I don't text quick. Okay. Like my girl Meg, I don't do that. So, no. So I hope this helps somebody tonight. We've been on here over an hour. Y'all got a whole conference, kind of, sort of. Go ahead, Andre. You wanted to add something?
No, I was gonna mess with you. We ain't make it to the afternoon. No.
I know the women. You was beating us up. You were beating us up. It was so many different nuggets that you did mention. What is one thing that you want to lead to the women tonight? Because I know you told us about the whole "I love you" thing. Like a woman need constant. Some women, not all, that need that constant reminder that you love them. What do you want to say to women who battle with that?
Essentially that there's a void within, like my statement was related to the woman that needs every conversation that we in needs to end in I love you, or we talk 5 to 7 times a day, maybe before I get home. Every conversation has to end with I love you. The text got to end with I love you. The in not that there's a problem if it does, but if it doesn't, then it's a problem, and it can be a real volcanic eruption in some relationships if you don't say I love you, even though I've said it 6 times today already. So that was my thought. And it's something within you that's the void, not the relationship. So you have to address those things from within, because it's going to push him away in some instances if there's like he's never doing enough, even though he's doing everything he can. Maybe in that moment he was distracted, he needed some time, he had his own thing going on, like you have your things going on, and sometimes the woman doesn't have enough things going on, and sometimes she has too many things going on. So we have to kind of balance that out and find out, well, what is it with, why do you need this affirmation and this reassurance every 32 minutes? What's up with you? So
yeah, that's a real thing. Like you said, go get the help you need and leave that man alone. That was so funny. I said, dang, shots fired. We had no comeback. It was the women were in disbelief. But it's the truth, because some women, I feel like when we have conversations, some conversations come better from men. So that conversation needed to come from you, a man, to talk about issues that most women will talk about it, but sometimes hearing from a man's perspective just brings it more to light. Like, okay, I need to work on this, need to work on that. And I tell y'all all the time, when I put on my conferences, I'm always learning myself. I'm learning certain things in my singleness. I've grown a lot since 2018, in my singleness. And I've dated here and there. And the last joker I did, again, I just said joker because he was a joke. Okay. So my lesson in that is don't settle for convenience. That was my lesson, because I know better. Keeping it real. And when I see that red flag, I try to bend a little. Don't bend. When you see that red flag that that's not gonna change, hit the road. Like, don't wait. What for? So that was a little dating nugget for somebody who needs to know. If that red flag show up, make sure you go to the left. Like, you can exit certain things quietly. I had, you have multiple opportunity to get out of something, but you don't. Like, all the signs are there that you can get these exits out of. You don't take them. It's the reason why God set them up for you to take. We could avoid a lot of things, like Colin said, if we just take our time. See how I just put that in fitness and in relationship dating, because it's all interconnected. Lucia said it before. It's all interconnected. So anyone have any final words before we come off the air? Any final words?
Thank you. Thank you for bringing us together.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate you for sure.
Just such an incredible experience. Shantanique, it's just such a pleasure to know you and who you are as a woman, and how you I love you. You're just such a bright, shining star, and how you've brought people together really to be in service to community is beautiful. So thank you.
Don't do that, please. Because I got, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say thank you, because this was phenomenal. It was my first opportunity to actually participate and be a part. And you were a great person to work with, great spirit, and you made everything just so easy to deal with. And you were just so you're natural. I mean, this your area, this your gifted area, and I thank you for the opportunity. Was really, really pleased. Families, love, relationship, and we need it all. We can do this. And the things that we got in the conference are things that will help empower Black love or love in general, you know? And so that's really important for us. So thank you.
Really?
I'm up
Really? I just told her no tears. My lash about to come off for real because, and we live. So I was bump all over the place. God, Lee, y'all not. Thank you.
Oh, then I'll just text you what I was going to say then.
Oh
no,
no!
go for it. Let's get her. Get her.
They're going to come
She
all the
gonna
way
be
up.
Go ahead,
real
Victor.
I
slow.
want to speak to your courage, your confidence, and the fact that how brave it is for you to share your story the way you do and to bring a platform like this together on how sensitive these topics can be. And no one wants to talk about it, but yet you bring a safe place for people. I admire that about you. You're one of my sisters. I'm proud of you. And you just keep on doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm learning to receive. I'm learning that still, and it's yeah. Yep. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Oh, Colin, you had something to say? Or you good?
No, I did have something to say. Always thank you so much, and the work that you're doing. Um, don't ever forget the impact that these type of conversations and the work that you do. It's it's a lot more dynamic. It's not just dimensional. It starts off with conversations like these, helping people develop themselves. But ultimately, these are the things that can affect the world globally. Honestly, helping people build stronger relationships with their peers, their brothers, their sisters, with people they don't know, and just making people more comfortable with other people and being themselves and learning how to engage and talk with each other, settle differences. So this work is very important, and you think about all the things that's going on in the world, and this is the footwork for it. So we can't ever forget that.
That's facts, man. Real talk.
Yeah,
So
y'all
thank
trying.
you.
Yeah, y'all trying to have me on the world internet, Beyonce internet. Oh my God, I cannot.
Make you go viral.
Right. I truly appreciate the words of affirmation. I have people who text me who weren't able to make it to the event, um, just showering me with affirmations, and I truly appreciate it. And then those who weren't able to make it but still donated, um, it means the world to me. And I know that obedience is better than sacrifice. And so you all just be on the lookout for our next conference that's coming up in 2024. I do have some surprises. And so I'm just grateful that God has graced me to do this work. It's a lot of work. People look at me and say, "How are you a teacher? You're in school, getting your master's, almost done. Praise the Lord, God. I'm in my final class, and oh, good riddance with this. I'm tired tired of school and schooling with the kids. It's ghetto. So y'all don't ever do that." If you are a future teacher, be an interventionist. I don't know why this is a shameless plug. Listen, don't be a full-time teacher and go to school too. That's crazy. Unless God's gracing you to do both. So God has given me that grace to do that, but I wouldn't wish that on anyone who doesn't have it. Again, do what you can do with the grace God has given you. So that's my spiel to somebody tonight. And if God's called you to do a work, don't be afraid, because the people who are rocking with you, they will rock with you. They don't have to know your every move. Okay, but those who are for you, your roots, you know who they are. You will know them by the fruit that they bear in your life. So this has been your girl, Shantany Langston. Listen, before we go, make sure you're following everybody. Everybody, tell everybody your handles real quick on social media.
Andre, what is it? Affecting Change Charlie on Instagram. Andre Charlie on Facebook. On X, Twitter. It is the A313 therapist, and that's probably about it. Oh, Affecting Change Charlie on TikTok.
Just a lot. Let me stop. Go ahead, Des. I'm sorry.
Oh no, we're good. So we're Des2Fit on Instagram and Facebook, and we're I Am Coach Mommy on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, right?
And then we have our free accountability page for anybody who's just looking to get into their health journey and just looking for tips and motivation. It's what's our group called? Health and Fitness 40 and Beyond on Facebook.
Then on Instagram and Facebook is Scrap Fitness with a K. Scrap Fitness. Also, Colin Parks on Facebook and LinkedIn.
On Facebook and in IG, you can find me at Luscious Lucia Pavone. And you can also find me on LinkedIn, Lucia Pavone, as well as www.luciapavone.net. I offer a complimentary discovery session, so drop in.
Y'all better tap into that. Okay, I just love your handle and your name. I'm like, I can't have that though on mine. So, but that's all right. Listen, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. We'll be back on Candid Conversations in a week. I will be off for a week, but the following week I will be on by myself. Y'all better come and chat with me. I will be discussing the importance of abstinence and why it is not for everybody and a mama. Why it's not for everybody and a mama. So again, thank you guys so much for being on. And I will talk to you all in my next video. Y'all stay blessed.